Yep.
My claim of fact is that high school basketball players should be allowed to go straight to the NBA with skipping college. In 2006, under the collective bargaining agreement, it stated all drafted players must at least be 19 years of age or 1 year removed from high school. This no longer allowed players to bypass college and head straight for the NBA. When this rule was put in, it instantly became a controversial topic in all the sports. Some feel this was a good rule for the game of basketball and for the players, but some felt it wasn't. Requiring athletes to attend college, typically the top high school basketball athletes, affects their family's financial situation. A lot of the time, these high school athletes are really eager to go pro in their sport because they know with the money they receive, they can help out their family or also start providing for themselves. And with the dream of most high school athletes is to get drafted and with their first paycheck buy their parents something nice or buy themselves something nice. With all the money that parents normally spend in basketball between clubs and high school, it's very expensive, so it's a good thing for kids to do. Big thing I think high school players go pro is it teaches these athletes how to mature faster. Being 17 or 18 and making lots of money makes kids want to not ruin their shot at the top. More hours are spent in the gym practicing and just learning how to become a better basketball player, and also learning how to grow into a man. Being around other grown men every other day, it's gonna rub off on you, and you're gonna learn some of their habits and tendencies. And it's a big factor in the development of the young players. One of the main reasons athletes want to skip college is because of the fear of getting injured. College sports are extremely tiring on athletes' bodies. It is a lot different than professional sports types of practices. In professional sports, you typically go to practice and you practice your plays and getting better. But in college sports, a lot of it is about discipline. You consistently practice. You consistently are running in practice because the coach is a lot of the time trying to show that they're in charge and they have power. And you do get better in practice, obviously in college, but it's a lot better practice than professionals. Just a year ago, a basketball player went to Holy Grail. His name was Matt, and he was caught on tape actually getting kicked by his coach because he wasn't participating right in the drills how the coach wanted it to be, and the coach took offense to it. The coach was quoted saying, "I just feel that was a coach I was trying to get my team more competitive." And this is an example of a college basketball coach who just wants to show how much power they really do have. Another reason players are scared of getting injured is they know it will greatly ruin their stock in the draft. Most basketball injuries stated by Dr. Patrick O'Connell happen to your knee and your ankle. The sprained or fractured ankle and the tear of the ACL are a basketball player's worst nightmare. Basketball is the fourth leading cause of injury in both organized and community sports. And these injuries are always in the back of a player's mind. If a player feels he is ready to go pro, why risk the chance of getting injured in college or playing for a multi-million-dollar market and not receiving any type of payment for it? This decision should be on the player, I feel, and to decide, and not on the NCAA or the NBA. Some players that have gone straight from high school to the NBA, which you typically will know, are Kobe Bryant, LeBron James, Kevin Garnett, Dwight Howard, Amari Stoudemire, and that's just to name a few. And it happens to be these players are typically the ones you turn on the TV to watch, and so they're actually making the NBA more money than most players. And yes, a college education is very important in the world today, but nothing is also stopping the high school athlete from returning to college or going to college if it doesn't work out in the NBA. And with the money they receive, they'll be more financially stable to do so.
All right, Jared, you do have a clear statement of the proposition. There's no layout of what the secondary points are. In the body of the speech, you don't do any signposting of those secondary points either. Although, if you're listening carefully, I think you can pick out at least 3 things, although it sounded like there might have been a 4th one at the end. You want to be a little bit more explicit about that. You kind of explain the idea behind all of those concepts, but you got no evidence on the first 2 points at all. The 3rd point, you start having some evidence. You've got a few examples, and you've got the one piece of testimony about the leg injuries. The first example that we really get is late into the speech. You've got the example of Matt at Holy Grail and getting kicked around by his coach, and I'm not sure that that's enough to be making a generalization about how these athletes are at risk at the lower levels of college play, for instance. And I'm not sure I remember any big athletes coming out of Holy Grail. I'm sure that there were some somewhere. So maybe if you had examples of big time schools where they had abusive programs, Bobby Knight type things where somebody got screwed up because they were there in college, that might work a little bit better. The argument about the athletes should be the ones making the decisions that's mostly a value claim. Like I said, the issue about the family being taken care of, that's all hypothetical. Don't have any illustrations on that particular point. Even the injury thing, I think it's a little speculative. You do mention that there are injury possibilities, but there's not really any evidence being cited on that. So I thought that the evidence was a little thin. You're doing a little more reading than you want to at this point. So I think you explained the concept well. You've got a clear statement of what your proposition is, but your support needs to be stronger earlier in the speech. All right, thank you.